People call it different things. They call it contact improvisation. They call it art, sport. It's not an aesthetic, presentational dance form, so it's very different to what we have known to be dance in the West anyway, for a long time. I loved it because of the freedom. I just love this freedom of letting my body go and seeing how far it could go and what could happen if I was moving with another body. And a lot of the principles developed from that, because the fact is you're not just on your own flinging your own body around, you're actually flinging your body with someone else. So that in itself dictates a lot of what happens and how you have to learn about listening and sensitivity, and you can't just crash about, you'll hurt someone. So it's improvised, but you're working with principles, falling with gravity, learning how to roll, learning how to save yourself and all of that. A lot of people have developed ways of lifting and doing all this stuff, and they teach lifts and do this, do that, do the other. What I teach is contact-based, but I don't teach contact improvisation. Developed in my own body, and that's kind of what I share with people, is really working energetically. And it's how I see, like if I'm working with another body, I'm not just seeing a form that's shifting, I'm seeing an energetic movement, and I'm following something. I use a certain focus, so I'm using my periphery a lot, and I'm tracking energetically what's happening with my partner, and then because I'm teaching, I'm tracking energetically what's happening in the space and other bodies.
5 years ago when I worked with Kirstie, it was a vast discovery of not only contact improvisation and improvisation, but who am I and what is it that I want with my dancing practice and my performing practice, and what is it that I want in life, because these things are so united in her work.
It's the first time I've been in a dance class where I've been asked to be in something other than my body. In other words, to move with the energy.
Kirstie has integrated the body, the other body that sits on somewhere out here, and then how those bodies meet other bodies.
What I noticed in myself and other people very often is I'd be able to, in a class, get to a certain state in my body that was very alert, very aware, but very relaxed.
I get into a space where I need to surrender. When I'm surrendered and I'm trusting more of what you would call my instinct, I tap in to that part of me that synchronizes with the dance, not only with myself and my body, but also with somebody else.
Kirstie begins very slowly with body work for at least an hour, so we can enter it with an intelligence in the body rather than something that's predetermined by our minds.
I love improvisation because it makes a fool out of me. I love that place of being on the floor and I've just fallen down in a very ungraceful way. And then I have to try and recover something that wants to then move up and grow again.
Everybody connects to it. It's so profoundly basic. Everybody just picks up and can sense it in the body, what it is to be moving freely.
The idea of fear and the judgment in the voices that are constantly going in since we learned language.
The resistance towards touching or towards being watched, observed by others, all these dynamics that constantly play a role to be playfully playing with that rather than judgmental.
And she's just breaking down all the things that build up fear and constraint so that we can actually go out into the world from a very strong place.
Some people are afraid to go deep, to explore things.
The true practice is to allow oneself to constantly keep going further, allowing the moment to expand and to be there and to discover how can we liberate our movement, our spirit, and these are so connected.